Oh my God. Oh my God. We've done it. We've had months of planning. We are in fighting shape for our Rocky Files podcast. This is amazing.
We made it.
We did. We did. Now people are wondering, who are these crazy lunatics? who is this we're looking at? Okay, so I am going to throw it to my dear friend Stacy in the upper right hand. She is from New Hampshire, and she is maybe the greatest female Rocky fan on the planet. Stacy, say hi to everybody.
I agree.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi. Thank you. I am so happy to be here. So Mike and I met. I wrote a script and I wanted his advice on it. And I said, hey, there's no one else who can do this for me except Mike, who probably knows more about Rocky than I'm betting Stallone in some cases. But so we reached out, and he was on a podcast where I got to be a guest and talk about my script there. And so that was a lot of fun. And then, Mike, you had a vision for a real heavy Rocky themed podcast. And I was like, hey, I know someone who'd like to help you with that.
Right. Of course.
So, and Anthony was also a guest with us. And I said, I also know somebody else who wants to do that heavy Rocky themed podcast. So,
and that's our main man, Anthony, in the upper left-hand corner.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you, Anthony. Anthony, by the way, is just about to get punched in the head by Rocky Balboa. How did you, Anthony, tell us how you made it into the scene in the frozen beast scene with Rocky? How did that happen?
No, nobody knows. You really have to watch it a few times. But I snuck in the back door of the meat plant.
Amazing.
And, wow. You really got to pay attention. I'm sure you've seen Mike because you're the encyclopedia.
I have. And in the business, we refer to Anthony's being in the freezer on film right there with the beef as the immaculate reception. So this is our main man here.
Yeah. Paulie left the door open, and I snuck in. That's pretty much what happened.
Now, Anthony is probably the greatest plumber in Canada, and what makes him a little bit,
I'll take that.
And I'll tell you what, that's like an amazing honor, because here's what I always say. It's like in a zombie apocalypse when society falls. Let me ask you, who are they going to need more of, plumbers or Rocky impersonators? Okay, they're going to need plumbers. Trust me, it's going to get stinky real quick.
A little of both. We need a little of both.
We need a distraction.
We need some plumbers, and then we need some distraction. 100%.
And what was really cool on another podcast I used to do, Anthony was a guest there, and we had some great conversations. Yeah. And once Stacy kind of put this bug in my head about doing another podcast, I thought, there aren't many people I feel comfortable with or that I would trust to do it. And I had such a good rapport with the two of you. And that's kind of how we all I don't know, you had gaps, I had gaps. Together we filled gaps.
That's exactly how this happened. It's
right.
That's it. Yeah. Very simple.
It's quite funny how it all came together. It's funny. It's funny with the, like I said before with the Pretender documentaries, how I got introduced to Mike, and I got introduced to Mike through the Pretender documentary when I was on YouTube just searching Rocky music, because that's whenever I work out or do anything that needs some kind of motivation, you Google Rocky 4, Rocky 3, whatever I feel like. I have my go-tos. And then here comes Pretender. I'm like, what is this? And
Yep.
That was it. And then I bothered you for a very long time. And
but it was like a lovely bother. It was no bother. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it was.
Because the one thing about me, like when I was a kid, like I was square peg round hole kid. I never fit in. So when I was a kid, I never had any friends. So the older I get and the more involved I get with this stuff with Rocky, and as the podcast goes on, those of you who don't know who I am, you'll learn more about me and little things that come up. It's been a bit of an odd, unique life for me. So that will lend to my credibilities for the podcast. But I really enjoy making friends like this because we come from a certain sensibilities that, I think inside that Rocky bubble, it's like a family almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're all from different places too, aren't we?
We sure are. I mean,
Anthony, where are you from?
I am from Toronto, Canada.
Toronto, Canada. Nice.
Would I be the furthest one? I'm probably the furthest one, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
And then we go down to New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm in Philly. So I mean,
of course.
Where else
you go. Would Mike be?
Where else? Maybe the Nut House.
No.
Maybe the Nut House. But other than that, so here we are. What's the podcast about? Stace, why don't you tell us what are you hoping we make this about?
I certainly love, if you're on Sylvester Stallone's Instagram page and you read what people say to him, he'll post something and somebody will say, I got through this or I got through that because of, being inspired by the Rocky character. And I just can't imagine how he feels every morning knowing that he is the face of something that means so much to people. And I know that I've literally made decisions like, that what would Rocky do moment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a clarifying question because, you're mad about something or, you might go about it the wrong way and you kind of take a deep breath and go, okay, let's do this right. And I think he helps you do that,
Agreed.
And even
Absolutely.
Adrian does, Adrian,
sure.
She's so sweet. And so I wanted to give people like me a chance to say thank you with their story. And so when you and I talked, I was like, we can totally do this. We can allow people to say, this is how much it meant to me. Yeah. I also want it to be about facts, because we've talked a lot about what was real and what wasn't real. And you're like, no, that's not true. This is what's true. And I would love for our followers to ask questions and we can take those questions and be like, hey, Mike, is this true or is this not true?
Yeah, definitely.
I think the only other thing I can think of is, maybe we, Mike, you give us assignments and beyond Rocky, we have to watch one Stallone movie outside of the Rocky series.
Yeah, other than Rocky. Yeah,
he has done other things.
He's done other things, and so maybe our first assignment should be Lock Up or Assassins or something.
Yeah, right,
and we can take 5 minutes
to get the full picture.
Yeah,
to get the full picture.
He's
got so many movies, you sometimes forget that he's done a movie.
Yeah, right. Now, Anthony, what are you thinking? What would you like to see on top of what Stacy said?
Yeah,
I think this is literally, like it says in our title, everything in the Rocky universe. And I think also I want to give people like us, regular people, a platform to talk about their love for Rocky and everything within its universe and world. And not just Rocky, but an extension of it. Like Stacy was saying, what has it done for you? What little moments do you say that? Yeah. What would Rocky do? Or because we've all had those moments and you don't talk about it, but it's just like an everyday thing where, maybe I need a pick me up. I'm going to throw on a Rocky song and work out. Or
it does.
Like, I don't know how many times I've gone into maybe like an interview or something. And before you get to the door, I swear you're doing.
Oh yeah.
You're doing this,
you're
that's
moved. Yeah.
That's a Rocky thing. And you don't even think about it, but it's so in you. And that's what I want it to be about. Everyone just,
nice.
give us what it's done for you, even the smallest minute thing.
Yeah. And I love what you guys are both saying. And especially Stacy hit on something quite unique, which is having a voice to say this, because not everyone is going to be able to, say it to get to Sly to let him know. Yeah. And believe me, it affects him deeply. He holds great gravity to the influence of the character of Rocky, and he has great respect and reverence for it. And so I like that aspect of the podcast. I like exactly what Anthony was saying, the Rocky Files. It's from A to Z on Rocky.
Yep. Anything
on Rocky. Nothing is out of bounds. So I like talking about stuff behind the scenes, some of the things I know. Maybe we'll talk about particular moments in the scene. Maybe we'll have just a conversation about a Rocky movie, one of the movies, or even some of the creeds. Maybe we'll talk about some of our collectibles that we have. maybe we'll be talking about the upcoming re-release of Rocky 4, November 11th, right? In Philly. He's going to be in Philly. So we're going to have that talking about. And also, you never know who may show up as a guest on the show. And anyone from, say, maybe your average fan to maybe someone who's not exactly your average fan. So you should watch. You should tell your friends to watch more, because you never know who is going to tune in. You never know. It's gonna get crazy.
We'll see.
We shall see. But go ahead, Anthony.
No, I was gonna say, and the other thing, which I love, is if you don't know Mike, Mike is the walking encyclopedia of all things Rocky.
Yes.
And if you think you know Rocky or the movies, you don't. You don't, because he is going to give you all the little gems which make it so much more enjoyable. So watch, because you're going to learn some stuff.
Well, it'll be like, you know that nictitating membrane that goes over a shark's eyes when he goes in for the kill? That's what's going to happen to people. I'll be talking so many facts over the course of the next couple of months, or however long we do this, maybe a year, 2, 3 years, however. And they're going to have so much Rocky, they're just going to have the eye is going to close up. They're going to just roll back. They're like, enough, we're Rocky inundated. But seriously, that's been my life's passion has been Rocky, and really the philosophy of the character. And I know that sounds kind of a little out there, but really, you guys have said, what would Rocky do in any given situation? It really becomes like a philosophy. It does, because the character is such a stand-up character and very honorable, noble, and I'm nowhere near as honorable or as noble as Rocky is. I like to think I am sometimes, but it's thank you. But it's a goal I try to hit all the time. And I think a lot of us as human beings, I think we try to hit that. And I think maybe quite often we fall a little short of it. Maybe we get a little discouraged. And I know, just like you guys have mentioned, I look to Rocky all the time for inspiration, and, as Mickey would say, motivation. You know what I mean? But speaking of motivation, Sylvester's got a huge birthday coming up on July 6th, which is today. Today is July 6th, Sylvester's birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, amigo. Now listen, here's the thing. I don't know if you guys are prepared for this or not, but I thought I would ask the two of you, and then I might say a little something. Stacy, if you were in an elevator with Sylvester Stallone and you had 30 seconds, what would you say on his birthday?
30 seconds. Oh boy. I mean, again, I would say thank you for everything, because it, the character does really help guide through some difficult situations. Sometimes you don't know which way to go, this way or that way. And I really mean it when I say, the what would Rocky do can help you, give you direction. And so I am so grateful for that, for me and for my daughter. But my other thing for him, I'm probably over 30 seconds, is he always calls himself a dinosaur, or he belongs in a museum and all that. And I'm like, my birthday wish is a request that he would stop saying that, because I decided years ago he's going to live to be 100. So, we don't have to worry about that, because he's still got 2.5 decades to be with us, long before we have to worry about dinosaurs and mumuseums. So I just want to say happy birthday, and you have a minimum of 25 more, because we want many, many more years with Mr.
Awesome.
Stallone.
Absolutely.
So no more museum talk.
That's fantastic.
No more time.
Anthony, talk. What would you say?
What would I say?
What would you say?
Sly, happy birthday. Happy birthday from Toronto, from Canada, from Anthony. We all love you up here, that's for sure. Just thank you for everything you've done with this character, with this movies, even just being yourself, because Sly lives the message that he gives through Rocky as well. So even when you're not watching the movies and you're just watching Sly, he's still putting out that message that Rocky gives all the time. I think he just lives it all the time. And I just want to thank him for all those little things that he's given, all the little all the little whispers that I like to talk about. That you just think back to, like you said, what would he do? Or, you know, one little thing, one little clip, one little line that brings you back to you saying, yeah, maybe I can do this, or I'm going to do this now. And just thank you for that instillment that you put into people to get us through and keep going. Happy birthday, Sly.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Nice.
You two took the longest elevator ride ever with Sylvester Stallone.
Because if I get a chance,
we're going to hit all the buttons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love
all
it.
the way down. Like
I
Elf,
love it.
Just the Christmas tree.
Exactly. Exactly.
If I get a chance.
Anthony, could you imagine that? Like you're in front of the buttons, right? You and Stacy are in front of the buttons, and Sly is there by himself, and he sees you two hitting all the buttons, and he just goes,
"Oh God."
Well, I'm in for it now. Oh yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
No,
30 seconds is not enough. 30 seconds is not enough.
No, it's not
enough.
It's not.
Yeah,
you know, I think for me, the standard traditional happy birthday, Sly. Obviously, I mean, 75 years old. That's a massive milestone. But my little side message, it's just kind of short and simple. I never could have imagined. I was 11 years old in 1979 watching Rocky. Ever imagine meeting him, let alone him knowing about me. And you know, being on his radar and actually conversing with him and talking and becoming friends with him. So Sly, thank you for your generosity and being such having such great grace to you. I really appreciate it, and enjoy that cake.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy that, and a little bit of class. A little bit of class.
That's right.
He's got a lot of class.
He's got a lot of class.
He does.
All right. So listen, we did another thing, right?
Yeah,
what do we got next?
Good stuff.
Yeah, on Instagram, believe it or not, Sylvester Stallone has a few million fans on Instagram. So
we found some. I think we found some.
Yes, we did. Didn't have to look too far.
No.
And, so we got some people that we're going to put together, and you're going to see throughout the course of the show. You're going to see their thank yous and well wishes for Sly's birthday. So that's
a lot of people
cool.
love Sly, and a lot of people wanted to wish him happy birthday, and they wanted to do it on our show, our first episode, and we're going to play snippets throughout for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. So speaking of which, I think we got to take a break, play a birthday message, and then we got a great interview coming up, something that's going to be incredibly special.
Yo, happy birthday, Sly. I just completed my first feature film at 25. Studying The Expendables taught me how to properly stuff a ton of characters into one story and divide screen time properly so that it's cohesive. I also got an Expendables tattoo without realizing that this is inspired by Edgar Allan Poe, because I ran into a girl who also had a raven on a skull, and I said, "You watch The Expendables?" She goes, "No, I like Poe." And I go, "Sly likes Poe." Now it all makes sense. You've inspired me in some negative ways too, if I'm going to be honest. When we're doing fight scenes and my DP comes over to me and says, "The punches don't look real," I think, what would Sly do? And I let my other actors punch me.
What happened to I don't go around pressing big dudes?
I watched too many Rocky movies. Anyway, what Steve Reeves did for you is what you did for me, and I've accomplished a lot as a result. Happy birthday, champ.
Anthony, Mike, Stacy, big fan of the cast. Thanks for this opportunity. Mr. Stallone, my family is a huge fan of all your movies. From one Italian to another, happy 75th birthday. All the best.
Hi, Mike. Who do we have today?
Stace, I'm so glad we're back from break because I'm so excited. We've got two guys today that are tremendous Rocky fans. Now, I was lucky enough to take these two guys on a tour, and we're going to bring them in just a minute. But while we were on our tour, I did a little video of them at Mighty Mixed Gym. Oh. Now, this is John and his son, Josh, and they are about as uber fans as it gets when it comes to Rocky.
Perfect.
Anthony, can you hit that video for us so we can see who this is we're going to be talking to?
Yeah, I got it queued up, so I'm going to play this video right now.
Okay, so I'm here up at Mighty Mixed Gym with my good friend Joshua, and this kid is a boxer. Now, I know that because I just went about 12 rounds with him, and he kicked my butt pretty good. Anyways, this is my friend Joshua. Joshua, you having a good time? Yeah? What do you think about standing here in front of Mickey's gym? Nice. Listen, if you had one thing to say to Sylvester Stallone, what would you want to tell him?
Well, I would keep rocking, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good. I love the Rocky movies.
How about that? From one of the biggest, shortest fans on the planet. Take care.
Oh, that's awesome. He's adorable. That's so
He's full of passion. This kid is full of passion.
Love it.
Mike, let's bring him in. Should we bring him in?
Yeah, let's get him in here. We kept him waiting long enough. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Josh and John, are you guys with us?
Hey.
There they are.
How you guys doing?
Good. How about you?
Very well. So nice to meet you guys. So nice to have you guys in here. How was that experience, Josh? How was that tour with Mike?
Oh, excellent. The best. Honestly,
yeah?
I think that's the best tour in the world. Rocky tour.
Now I got to give him that $20 I promised him if he say that. Hey, John, what did you think of the tour?
Well, I'll tell you what. Like Josh, I think it was one of the best. I mean, it was so good. I mean, a couple months later, we came back and we did round 2 with you. So
I know, yeah,
we loved it. And I mean, it's so great because when you take us around and then we come back home, we watch the movies again. We're looking for different things and just looking for all those spots. And we want again. I mean, it gets better every time you take it. So
amazing. Josh and John, for all of us out there that haven't taken Mike's tour, I'm definitely one of them. Stacy as well.
Yeah. We got to get down there.
Oh, we got to get down there. Oh, do we ever have to get down there? But for whoever hasn't taken the tour, what's a tour with Mike like? What's a Rocky tour like?
Well, it's kind of cool because right after the tour, if you watch the actual movie or like clips or whatever, you can see what's actually there and like where you have been. Like I was in front of Mighty Mick's gym and I was watching the after the tour, I was watching the film and it was just crazy to think I was just there.
30, 40 years later,
Right.
Yeah, right.
I'll tell you what I like about the tour, without a doubt, is just, Mike knows so much about obviously the movie itself, and he'll show us, well, this is where you are. And, okay, now if you look over here at this building, you'll see that in the background. I mean, it just places it perfectly. And his background knowledge of, what the backstory is, I mean, just like rewatching the movie for the first time. I mean, all the stories and, well, back in the day when he was getting ready to film this, blah, 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 or where the music came from, and just all that stuff just adds so much to the tour.
And it's crazy. He's a genius because you only have, he was probably looking at the film trying to find these different spots, and you only have so much to look at and so much to piece it all together. It's kind of like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Like a, I don't know, jigsaw puzzle.
That's actually a really good way to describe it. It was like a jigsaw puzzle putting it together to find it all. But thank you. It was great. You guys, the thing that I really liked about these guys is that they were so animated during the tour. You saw Josh. I mean, he was just like Rocky, in the sweats, he had the gloves. I mean, he was all ready to rumble. It was great. I felt completely safe around Josh.
Was that the first tour that you took? Because you took 2, right? Was that the first time you did it? Yeah.
So we've been to Philly 3 times now, and we couldn't get Mike on the 3rd one. Man, I wish we could have. So we had to kind of piece it together ourselves a little bit. But I mean, I'd happily. I keep texting Mike. You have any cancellations? Do you have any cancellations?
Top of my list. You're at the top of my list every time. Because of COVID, people want to get out of their houses, and they've been booking like 10, 20 tours every day for the future for just weeks in advance. So it's been crazy. But listen, you guys had a training session recently up at the Front Street Gym, right?
Let me tell you that.
Yeah, we want to hear about that.
All right, I'm going to start, and then I'm going to let Josh, because he's the one who did it. I was just, honored.
You were just there.
Yeah, right.
So, we went there and found it based on, our tour, and so we Ubered over there and kind of opened the door and climbed upstairs, and we hear this ominous voice from the top of the stairs. Hey, can I help you guys? You know, and it didn't start off real well. Dallas, he was there, and we come up there and said, hey, we just want to look around, you know. And he said, all right, look around, but, you know, no camera, no pictures. I said, okay, that's good. And, you know, we stood around for a couple of minutes, and then he walked over and said, look, you know, I was just getting my guys going, and I don't mind if you take some pictures, you know, just show the gym some love and, of course, you know, respect. And so we did that. And then he asked Josh, well, is he a boxer? And we said, of course. You know, he was dressed in the outfit, and he asked him if he wanted to spar. And I'll let you take over from there. But
I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous during when he was like, well, I was getting dressed in the bathroom, and he was like, oh yeah, you're gonna spar. I talked with Dallas, and I was shaking like.
Yeah, he was.
I bet.
He went 6 rounds with one of his top students. You know, of course, they were kind of going light, but 6 rounds, 3-minute rounds. And, I got to tell you, it's kind of funny. We started, and, you know, Dallas was warming up to us. I love that guy. He sounds so great. And, I mean, you know, we talk on the phone now and text, but he comes up and he takes this tub of Vaseline and scoops his hand in it and looks at Joshua and says, all right, Josh, this is Front Street Gym initiation. I'm going to smear this all over your face.
Okay.
Yeah, Josh was just, okay, go ahead. But he said, I'm just kidding. But, you know, he got them all set up with the Vaseline and
right.
6 rounds. I mean, it was high intensity. And then he did 1-arm push-ups, and he did the
wow.
push-ups.
Wow.
We're trying to recreate the training montage. So
yeah.
I can't do 1 2-arm push-ups. That's unbelievable.
He did a couple of them.
I can barely stand up at times, okay? Let alone 1-arm push-ups.
That is incredible. What an experience.
Now, were you able to work the bags a little bit?
Yes.
And how did that feel?
That was the first time I ever used one of those like weird heavy bags that kind of like a sphere kind of.
Yep.
Right.
It has a chain on top, and I had like 2 rounds. One with one of Dallas's students. He was training me a little bit, and the second round with Dallas. So that's pretty cool.
That's fantastic.
That's
I'm so happy for you guys. Stacy, could you believe this? This young man, he's tougher than Anthony and I and you combined. Well, maybe not you. Well, you know, you're a girl, so girls are always the toughest. But what do you think about this? It's pretty amazing.
100%.
Yeah. I love this is similar to my daughter and I, because it was funny. My daughter was like 10 or 11 and I was home. She was homesick, and there was a Rocky marathon weekend on. I'm like, oh, great, let's watch Rocky. She was like, oh, what's Rocky? I'm like, what's Rocky? I'm the worst mother on earth. That's how we spent the weekend, you know. So now she's like this big Rocky fan. I mean, she's 19 now, but you know, she totally gets why I'm doing this. So I just love to see this father and son thing, because I totally get it. It's so fun when you grew up with it, you know, and it's just part of your life, and now to get to introduce it to your kids and watch it be brand new for them is really cool.
God,
yeah,
the next generation, it's unbelievable. John, when more for John, when did you see your son's love for Rocky begin? When did you start to see that he's really into this character, this movie?
I mean, it's crazy. How did it happen? I think it was Mom, honestly, asked Josh
a couple of like the same thing with Stacy. He was like,
what is that?
And he was like, you have to see it. It has Carl Weathers, because I was super into it because of Carl Weathers, because I was in love with Happy Gilmore.
Oh, nice.
Right.
And then what was it, Rocky?
I watched Rocky 4 first.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, is there these? Oh yeah, that was just the 4th one. And she introduced me to all 1, 2, 3, 5.
Yep.
Same.
5.
3.
Yeah.
And they're on every day. And I mean, once he got into it, I mean, he started, and of course, you don't know Joshua, but maybe you can get a sense that he is very focused, and I wouldn't say he's very persistent. And he started talking, said, Dad, I want to go to Philly. I want to go to Philly. Let's go to Philly. You know, where do you want to go on vacation? Let's go to Philly. Let's go to Philly. Eventually, and then we lucked into Mike's tour. You know, we Googled best Philadelphia Rocky tour.
Yeah.
And it just worked out. But
Josh, let me ask you this: what do you think it is about Rocky that inspires you so much with the hat and the jacket and training and coming to the tours? What does Rocky do for you that other movies, other inspirations didn't?
So other movies, of course, aren't as inspiring because Rocky is just this 30-year-old bum.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Hope Sly doesn't hear that.
But just a boxer. Just he's on the streets a lot.
Yeah.
And he got a chance to fight for the heavyweight champion of the world, or heavyweight belt, and he took it. But it doesn't matter that he lost. It's a matter of at the end of the day how you're standing on your feet, and it doesn't matter if you win. It's just a matter of about how hard you tried and if you gave it your best or not.
This kid's got it.
That's it. You got it.
That's it.
As a parent, what a message, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I've got 6 kids, and of course, today's day and age, you know, I mean, that message and the timelessness of that movie and how clean it is, and what a good story.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. Really, that's it. There's an inspiring message throughout the whole series, and I think that's what draws everybody to it, because I think everyone can relate, right, guys? It's
100%.
Joshua, have you brought Rocky to any of your friends at school who may not? Yeah, you've turned on more fans. That's great.
I mean, are you teaching everyone the Rocky? I was like you, because when I was born, Rocky had been out for over 10 years already. I think Rocky 3 was out by the time I was born. And I was just like you, Josh. I had to watch them. I had to catch up on all of them.
Right.
I think by the time I was old enough to go into a theater, Rocky 5 had come out. So I had to go from one and watch them all. And then, you know, when you're, like you said, you know, I watch Rocky 1. There's another one. And you really just fall in love with, you just want to watch them over and over and over again. I don't know how many times I bought VHS sets and wore them out. You know,
right.
I was just like you.
That's the thing I think that's so fascinating. Josh, what year were you born in?
2010.
Okay, you were born in 2010. You're talking the last time the 6th Rocky movie came out was 2006. You weren't even born yet, and you identify and get this simple, broken down boxer who is past his peak years. You get it. And to me, I find it so fascinating. Over the years, I've given an awful lot of tours, several thousand tours, and I've met some young boys and girls who really got the character, but only a handful. Really, I mean, there are some adults that don't get Rocky like you do, and it's really impressive. And I hope you hold on to that. And as you evolve and grow and become like a bigger human, as Rocky might say, you know, always hold on to that, because you got the perfect view of the character, and never lose sight of that.
Yeah, absolutely. That the Rocky message really can. It's helped me. It's helped all of us. Through some tough times and even good times. It's motivating, right? And that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. And yes, it's just a movie, but when you take the lessons from that movie, you can get through a lot of tough times in life. So just, never forget the message of what it's about. 100%.
Yeah.
I always felt it was like a philosophy. I always felt Rocky, it really is like, okay, not everyone's going to have a driveway filled with Lamborghinis and Ferraris and a pet robot, but you can always carry that Rocky philosophy with you. You may not be the best in the world, but you could be the best in your world. And that's the thing that I saw with Josh, since I got to spend some time with him. John, for you, I wanted to ask you, I forgot what you told me on the tour. What's your favorite Rocky?
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Well, it is. It really is either. I mean, Rocky 1, just again, from the backstory, what you told me, and the low budget and just creating this out of nothing.
Yeah.
You know, that's got to be right up there. And honestly, I like Rocky Balboa because I'm a little older now.
Yeah, right, of course.
And I kind of relate to that. I think to myself, holy smokes, I mean, look at that guy doing chin-ups and and it's realistic. I mean, it seems like a wonky idea for a plot. This, older retired boxer meets the heavyweight champion of the world, but same message. Just want to be standing, and I can do it. And what are you going to take away from me? And why won't you let me, do? I mean, so it's either 6 or 1.
Well, I could tell you, you know what, and this is something maybe Stacy and Anthony, maybe you guys already know this, but Rocky Balboa, when Sly gets asked quite often, what's your favorite Rocky? And everyone assumes it's 1, and I mean, I'm sure 1 is always at the top of his list, but quite often, many times he thinks it's Rocky Balboa because of the struggle that was involved in getting Balboa made. Right. I mean, you're talking about the Rocky story. It became a Rocky story. Like Rocky made the studios billions of dollars, and nobody wanted to give Stallone money for Rocky Balboa. Now, if I believe I have my figures right, like in 1978, when the budget for Rocky 2 was something like $18 million. 78 in 2006, I think it was like $26 million for Rocky Balboa. $26 million in 2006, and it was $18 million. So it really was somewhat of a shoestring budget. And for me, I say to myself, but this is Rocky. And then the studio was like, it's a 59-year-old Rocky, and Rocky 5 didn't perform as well as what we had hoped. And you're like, okay, and yet Sly made them all a believer. And that is the thing I love so much about Stallone, is that he sticks to his guns. And Josh, that's what I hope you do in the future. Stick to your guns, listen to your gut, and it ain't nobody's right to tell you where you want to be or who you got to be doing it to. So go for it always.
Yeah. Rocky 6 is Rocky Balboa. It's almost like, it's like he had to prove himself. Stallone had to prove himself again to make this, and like he just like the character, never gives up, got it made, and it's probably one of the best ones. It's like a movie all on its own. Rocky Balboa.
Really
I appreciate how he reminds all of us that even those of us in our 40s and pushing 50, that you still have a lot. You still have a lot of life. You have still a lot of fight. Yeah. And you can still make a difference. You don't have to be in your 20s. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to be 75 here, and he's still doing his thing 100%. And I love
Stacy,
I love the tenacity.
That is such a perfect segue.
Wasn't it perfect?
Perfect segue into
I didn't even try.
John and Josh's birthday message for Sylvester. So if you guys had something you wanted to say to Sly, let's say you're in an elevator, you got 30 seconds. What would you say to Sly on his birthday? Go.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I would probably join in, but I would just say thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much for
everything. what you've created and the message. I mean, it's more than a movie. I mean, I just say thank you from the bottom of my heart, for giving us the concept and the movie and the character. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't be at this point. And I probably wouldn't have the posters in the background.
That's a beautiful message.
I love it. I love it, guys.
And then I would say, keep punching.
Keep punching.
Exactly. That's it. Keep punching.
Before we go, did we hear Josh's favorite Rocky? Josh, what's your favorite Rocky movie?
Rocky 1, 2, or 6.
Yeah.
Has to be
He can't pick.
Hard.
That's okay.
I am the same way. Sometimes 1 is my favorite, 2 is my favorite, and so on. It's just really hard to pick, but you can't go wrong with any of them, right, guys?
Right.
Amen. Yeah.
Yeah, they all have a very special message. Yeah, for sure.
So listen, before we wrap up, guys, Josh and John, is there anything else you guys want to say to Sly that you haven't said? Is there anything you wanted to ask or talk about before we let you guys get out of here?
What would you?
I don't know. I mean, I'd love for him to do the prequel. You know, I mean, don't.
That's a good one.
We still got years left, all of us, and
yes,
to see another.
That's a good one.
That is fantastic.
From your lips to Sly's ears.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Even if he writes it, in a book, I'll buy it. I swear to God, I'll buy it.
Yeah. Even if he goes the Star Wars way and just does it in a cartoon.
Sure. I'll take anything.
Anything. Yeah.
Give us something. Never let Rocky go. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Great message, guys.
Don't give up.
Guys, thank you so much. This has been absolutely brilliant. And who knows? Maybe in the future we'll bring you guys back, and maybe we'll have a little longer interview. What do you think?
Love it. Would love it. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys.
Thank you
so
guys
much.
so much. What a great interview. Thanks, guys. Hey,
you guys are great.
Bye.
Keep punching.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, guys, I don't know about you, but that little guy blows me away. I mean, he was amazing on the tour, and he was even like quadruple amazing today. What did you think?
100% in agreement. Seeing the couple of videos that you posted of him, he was a cute kid there, but speaking to him in person and his dad, he's everything that this is about, and what the Rocky vibe is about.
Right.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. It was what a great interview for our first show. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And I want to continue off what the dad said about, what would you say and to Sly, and it is thank you, because the integrity of the Rocky character is as he said, timeless. And I just it's been such an example to me and my daughter, and it is just nice to have a nice clean example of a character of such high integrity, and it's not always about winning, but it is about you keep going and you keep getting up, and he completely
and he said that
gets
didn't
that, and it's so nice to see. That's what
he does.
I just
at such his
it.
young age when he said that, it's unbelievable.
11 years old.
Yeah,
11 years old.
11 years old, right? He's born in 10, so it would be 11.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
That's the same age. I was 11 years old when I found this character. That's how old I was. That's why I like this kid so much, because he just reminds me of me. I mean, it's my story with my grandfather's fedora and leather jacket. I mean, I see that kid, and I hope his road ain't as tough as mine was for 40 years. But I think he's a little bit better balanced than I am, and so
paved the way for him.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to carry the torch forward. So Josh, if you're seeing this, Josh, thanks again, man. We absolutely we loved you. We really did.
We loved him, for sure.
Really. I mean, what I got from Josh and his dad was just that real love for Rocky, right? I mean, they 100%. they feel they have the passion, father and son, bonding with Rocky and what the movie's about. That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, and this is what we captured from them today is exactly what we're hoping to capture episode after episode. The heartwarming piece of it, it was perfect, because they really set the tone of what we're after. So that was a great job by the both of them.
Well said, Stace. Well said, because that's the vibe I think I'd like to keep going. I'd like to just talk with everyday people, just people who are just trying to make it through the day, like I am, like you guys are, like we all are. And what's their special little story? What does it mean to them? How does Rocky inspire them through some difficult times? Because the world we live in can be extremely difficult at times, and it's nice to see these fun little stories. And I don't know, just kind of kick your feet up and say, Rocky, take me away.
And I love that I love that it was the father-son team too, because
that's great stuff.
As much as Rocky and the movies and the message, it's a boxing movie. Not just a boxing movie, but it's not just about that part and his inspiration and all that. Rocky was a family man too. And he got inspiration from his family, right? I don't think it's looked at enough, because what happened when Adrian came around? He's fighting for Adrian. What happens when his son is born? He's fighting for his son. So it really is I don't think it's talked about enough is the movie has got a
love
message
story.
of family and
yeah.
love and
Sure.
support. And if you have all that stuff, you
Yeah.
can really do anything. And I think
You can.
that's lost a little bit sometimes.
You know, I think you have a bit of a point there because, you know, a lot of times you see online how things are like best sports movies of all time. Well, you know, Rocky's always up there somewhere. To me, it's not a sports movie; it's a love story. And the thing is, why the emotional point, why the training works so well, why that 14th round works so well when Rocky waves Apollo in after he just got his face broken. To me, it's because of the love. The love is not that the love is at stake, but the love is what was pushing him, made him better than what he thought he could be.
Yeah.
That's how it was in my life, and I'm sure you guys could, you know, relate to that as well.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
And
not just about the sport of boxing.
Right.
Because
that's just
there's
a
a lot
job.
of boxing movies out there that don't give you the feeling that because this was about love and family and inspiration. And that's what I got from the two of them. What do you think, Stacy?
I was just going to say, I'm always coming from the Adrian perspective. I just loved how much her support fueled him. You know, his training was, you know, he just, his whole heart wasn't in it until she said, go for it. And I love how that really revved him up. You know what I'm saying? And that
every time
that shows how much her approval meant to him. And that was, for me, that's like the sweetest.
Right.
Yeah. So,
absolutely, guys.
I'll tell you what, guys, I think this is a great way to end this first podcast. And I think we should probably end it on a very special message from our new friend, Josh. I think he's got something, you know, is very special to tell not only us, but everybody else out there. Anthony, why don't you hit it?
Hey, kid, let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, but it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life, but it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, how much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
I want you, chump. I want the stallion. Yo, Sly. Big fan here, Italian Philadelphia, that boxes. I want to wish you a happy birthday. Many more from the tornado himself. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Yo, Sly, just wanted to wish you a very happy birthday. Thanks so much for all the inspiration, all the awesome movies over the years. Hope your birthday's a real knockout. Happy 75th. Keep punching.
Hey Sly, happy birthday. Hope you have an amazing day. Sending best wishes to you from the UK.
Mr. Stallone, I just wanted to wish you a very, very happy birthday. Rocky Balboa and Lincoln Hawk changed my life as a child. Meeting you and shaking your hand at the Arnold Classic about 6 years ago was the single greatest moment in my life. Thank you for everything you do and you have done. Happy birthday, sir.
Hey, yo, Sly. Happy birthday to you, my friend. I send you a greetings from your biggest fan from Spain. We love you here. You have always been an idol, an example to follow. I wish you a very, very happy birthday to you and your family.
1976, Rocky changed my life. So I just want to say, for the millions of people that you've inspired and motivated over the years, thank you. And Sly, have the happiest of birthdays. And as you always say, keep punching.